Automatic Tragedy by Kenneth. May 22nd, 2025. Automatic Tragedy. There lives a man, not haunted, but marked by something unseen and unshakable. His life is not tragic by conventional standards. There are no public scandals, no bitter failures, no cataclysms to explain the subtle ache in his bones. And yet, the shape of his existence curves inward, like a road folding back on itself, endlessly recursive. It is a quiet sorrow, built not from scarcity, but from an overwhelming abundance, of memory, of emotion, of perception. Too much depth, too much intuition, too many open windows into other people's pain. The world never taught him how to close them. From the outside, he is whole. He functions, often effortlessly. He has never been in debt. He is not rich, but he is rich in ways that defy currency. He is admired for his calm, his poise, his piercing creativity. His life appears blessed, and in many ways it is. He never wanted for anything he truly needed. He has been wise since boyhood, humble by instinct, and deeply faithful, not to doctrine or religion, but to the universe itself. Yet beneath that graceful exterior lives a man in constant negotiation with the cost of feeling everything all at once. The strength that others praise in him is the weight they never have to lift. He is, above all, a witness. Where others forget, he remembers. Entire seasons of emotion return to him in cinematic detail. He remembers how someone looked when they said goodbye 2 decades ago. He remembers offhand remarks that cut deeply but were never acknowledged. He remembers shadows and breezes and the texture of silence. He remembers things others need to forget just to survive. His tragedy is not singular, it's cumulative, a constellation of partings, mirrored glances, and unanswered questions looping endlessly in his mind. He has buried more than his fair share. 10 co-inhabitants, souls with whom he shared homes, meals, nights, and dreams, are no longer living, not including family, not including acquaintances, people he once cooked with, wept with, plotted tomorrows with. And that's only the cohabitants. There are others, once friends, half-lovers, fleeting companions, now gone too. Some simply vanished, others died. The weight of these passings collects in him like invisible architecture. Some of these losses he sensed coming, like subtle shifts in a symphony before the final note. Others arrived without warning and left a wake of silence that still echoes in his bones. More than once, he photographed strangers at parties, only to become dear friends with them years later. From a single rave and roll of film, 3 or 4 people he didn't know would later become some of the most meaningful connections of his life. These were not coincidences. They were convergences, evidence that time is not linear, but spiraled, a recursive dance where the past and future breathe through one another. This phenomenon isn't limited to photographs. It's as if his life drafts outlines that take years to be filled in, characters wandering in from the margins of past moments, stepping into their roles only after the script has already been written. He visualized the smartphone almost exactly as it is today, 3 decades before he held one. Sleek, glowing, connected, infinitely expressive, a pocket-sized oracle. He didn't just imagine the technology, he imagined its implications. Automatic Tragedy by Kenneth, Micah ELC, May 22nd, 2025. He drew it, spoke of it, designed its interface in his mind with reverence and precision. When it finally arrived, it fit perfectly, not just into his life, but into the architecture of his work, his communication, his vision. Likewise, he imagined Facebook almost 2 decades before its emergence. He foresaw the intricacies of digital connection, the ability to map the movements of memory and emotion across a network of minds. It wasn't prediction, it was attunement. Now, he lives a life where synchronicity is commonplace. A specific word will appear on a screen the moment it passes through his mind. A phrase he mutters surfaces in an audiobook's narration seconds later. This happens multiple times a day. It's no longer uncanny, it's expected. He doesn't check the clock often, but when he does, the numbers are always aligned. 11:11, 2:22, 3:33, 12:34. Time itself seems to echo his internal rhythm. These moments aren't distractions or novelties. They are confirmations. They are the punctuation of a dialogue between his inner knowing and the external world. Communication with loved ones has become almost telepathic. He knows what they feel before they say it. He texts before they think to reach out. He sends music that fits a mood they hadn't even identified yet. Words are often unnecessary. This isn't magic, it's alignment. His ESP isn't a supernatural gift. It's clarity of intellect filtered through a heart that refuses to close. Some relationships persist even without contact, as though the bond lives autonomously, breathing in the quiet spaces between lifetimes. He has written poetry, automatic and unbidden, that weeks later appears as lyrics in new songs by connected artists. He speaks the future in riddles he doesn't realize are prophecies until they come true. His creativity is not summoned, it flows. Songs, symbols, and sigils come through him, guided by something he does not pretend to control. Everything he creates has ceremonial meaning. Every word he writes is both mirror and offering. Each act of expression is ritual, performed with reverence, driven by faith. And yet the magic comes with weight. His artistry isolates him. His insight makes shallow conversation unbearable. The same gift that allows him to tune into others with such precision also makes him feel too much, too often. He lives in the future, grieves in advance, mourns relationships before they crumble. He recognizes the ending of a friendship in a single charged silence. He walks beside people long before they die, saying silent goodbyes even as they laugh. Despite all this foresight, the finality always surprises him. It never hurts less. Still he loves. He gives without expectation. He answers the phone at midnight. He sends messages that may never be acknowledged. He stores voicemails from the long gone. He keeps the doors open. He builds altars of memory and faith in everyone he cherishes, even those who forget him. When they return, if they return, they find he has not moved an inch from the place of welcome. His forgiveness is not performative. It is simply how he exists. A vow made not to others, but to himself, to remain open. That is the true tragedy, not the loss, but his refusal to harden in response. Automatic Tragedy by Kenneth, Mike 2025. He remains soft in a world of sharp edges. He metabolizes grief into grace, sorrow into song. His magic is not an escape from pain. It is a system for transforming it. His automatic magic is born from his automatic tragedy, a lifelong alchemy in which presence and absence co-author the music of his being. His gifts do not protect him from hurt. They teach him how to carry it beautifully. He walks like a priest without vestments, blessing the unnoticed. A sanctuary in human form. A lighthouse no one sees until they're drowning. And yet, no one asks if he is tired. His radiance makes people forget he too flickers. He is the keeper of invisible thresholds, the guardian of unspoken grief. When others collapse, they collapse into him, forgetting that even pillars crack. He is not a martyr. He is not a mystic. He is not even an enigma. He is simply what becomes of a soul that insists, through grief, through silence, through haunting synchronicity, on loving with open hands anyway. His sorrow composes symphonies. His joy carries the weight of those no longer here. His presence, no matter how quiet, is an answer, a prayer answered back. This is automatic tragedy, a life infused with the divine circuitry of loss and perpetual grace. A man shaped by his devotion to noticing everything and loving it all, even when it disappears, even when it hurts, even when it leaves him changed forever, but still soft, still singing, still here.